Hey everyone, Gill Gross here post-match. Carlos Alcaraz versus Daniil Medvedev, ATP Finals 2023 round robin. If you're not here for spoilers, click off the video. Alcaraz wins in straight sets to secure his place in the semifinals of this year-end championships. Had he lost and Zverev beat Rublev, Carlitos would have been eliminated, but he avoids that situation. Medvedev here, he was playing a dead rubber. He was 2-0. And now that he's lost, he gets to play Sinner instead of Djokovic. Look, they're both, it is what it is right now. It's similar to Sinner last night. I think that Medvedev came out and played good tennis, and it was a good level. But Alcaraz continues to look more and more comfortable in these conditions. And just given the patches of unplayable, spectacular tennis that we saw from Alcaraz, combined with the consistency and the focus throughout, the multiple levels and, the variation in his attack, it was probably one of the best performances we've seen from Alcaraz since Wimbledon. And important to get back on the winning column against Daniil Medvedev after the big loss at the U.S. Open in that semifinal. So as we transition into analyzing what went down in this match, let's focus on something that was key at the U.S. Open, which is the serve return dynamic, the ability for Medvedev with a far bigger first serve than Alcaraz and a more reliable first serve return than Alcaraz, to get more free points. Well, so far in the tournament, we've seen Alcaraz actually get a lot of purchase out of his first serve. A pleasant surprise for Carlitos has been how well he served, even in the loss to Zverev, even in that match. The question is, now he goes up against Medvedev, who's, the ultimate kind of returns and play test. How's he going to look? And once again, Alcaraz held up. First serve returns in play. Alcaraz made 70%. Medvedev made 71%. So that might sound like a Medvedev win by 1 percentage point. In reality, knowing the paths to victory and how these two play, it's not a Medvedev win. That's an Alcaraz win. The way he served and the way he returned in this match was going to put him in a great position to win, because Alcaraz is so much better at attacking behind his serve, whether it is a serve and volley, he's coming in behind it, whether it be hitting a first ball forehand. When you take the 30% that each player, well, actually, no, let me shift it. When you take the 70% that each player is looking at when the ball comes back in play with their first serve, Alcaraz is going to do better than Medvedev on that 70%. So for Medvedev, he needs to make up the difference with the serve itself. And in my opinion, like we saw at the U.S. Open, he's going to have trouble beating Alcaraz if he doesn't win this stat handedly. It's very similar, actually, to the unforced error stat, which in this match was 15-13 Medvedev. Okay, slight edge for Daniil, but is that really a good stat for Medvedev, that he only won by that little? Not really. Probably not, considering how much more of an attacking player Alcaraz is. Medvedev needs to win that stat by a lot. And by the way, Tennis Insights, which tracks the percentage of which a player is in attack, Alcaraz 32% attacking, Medvedev 25% attacking. So if the errors are that close together, what does that tell you? That tells you that Alcaraz is in a good spot. Now, Medvedev was consistent here. 13 unforced errors, that's a great number. The problem is Alcaraz only made 15. I don't know if I misspoke. Medvedev 13, Alcaraz 15. It kind of reminds me of the two, because the path to victory for Medvedev, again, free points, less errors. More free points, less mistakes. That's what it's really about for Medvedev. I do want to, before I transition off of the serve topic, I do want to look at the spot serving from Daniil here. From Alcaraz here. This is Alcaraz's first serves, all 39 that he made in play. I want you to key in on the deuce side. So two things happened here. The first thing is that Alcaraz remembered what happened in the fourth set at the U.S. Open when Medvedev, and it happened at other points in the match as well, when Medvedev on the deuce side decided to just cheat because Alcaraz was having so much success going with the sliding slice serve out wide and usually serve and volleying behind it. Medvedev decides, okay, well, I am just going to start moving to my right as soon as Alcaraz tosses the tennis ball up in the air, so that when he hits the wide serve, I'm right there waiting for it, and I can hit a good hard return at Alcaraz's feet if he's serve and volleying. Well, very early on, I think, Alcaraz decided, I'm going to make him pay for the cheat because I am going to go tee. And when Alcaraz did go tee, you can see all of the green tennis balls, which is the points won, because Medvedev was cheating a lot and Alcaraz was going tee a lot. He was getting great purchase out of those serves. Now, the wide serve was still there and it was still available. And the second thing I want to point out on this graphic is when Alcaraz served wide, look how important the spot serving is. This is remarkable to me. This should be very eye-opening. It certainly was to me. Look at all of the red tennis balls when Alcaraz hit the wide serve. And then look at the green tennis balls. That is the difference between hitting your spot and not hitting your spot. Because Alcaraz, as you can see, every time he got good width on the wide serve in the deuce court, he won the point. Every time he did not get good width, he lost the point. Incredible how that goes down. Okay, moving away from the serve. Beautiful mix of backhand speeds from Alcaraz. This is the OG tactic against Medvedev. This is what everybody was doing, in 2020 and the end of 2019 before Djokovic showed everybody that you should be serving, volleying, and coming to the net. And it's something Korda, I've pointed out recently how well Korda has done this against Medvedev. Over 1/4 of Alcaraz's ground strokes in this match were sliced. That largely takes away Medvedev's backhand damage, especially the down-the-line backhand, which was his best ground stroke in that U.S. Open semifinal. When Medvedev has Alcaraz in the ad court hitting backhands, he wants Alcaraz to hit a nice hard backhand cross court. I mean, he doesn't want, a 90-mile-per-hour one, and he doesn't want it to be deep, but he wants Alcaraz to hit a nice drive backhand cross court so that Medvedev can hit his best shot on this slick, speedy surface and redirect that backhand down the line. And Alcaraz just wasn't going to give him that. Instead, a lot of short slice, keeping it low, drawing Medvedev out of defensive position inside the court, doing that defensively, doing that from neutral, and it's just a good job of staying aware for Alcaraz after the match at the U.S. Open, where I thought for the most part he was playing much too fast. Everything was hard. And against Medvedev, that's not the way to go. So he made that correction, and he threw in some of the slower stuff, especially with the slice. He also attacked Medvedev's second serve extremely well. That's a Medvedev vulnerability, right? We saw that in the first set when Alcaraz converted a break point with the backhand down the line return winner. We also saw it in Alcaraz's conversion on the break point in the second set when Medvedev double faulted at 30-40. It was only his third double fault of the match, which is a good number for Medvedev. But Daniil won 44% of his second serve points, which is a pretty good number for Alcaraz, where Alcaraz won 67% of his second serve points, which is an exceptional number for Alcaraz. But that's something that Carlitos has done kind of always in playing Daniil, is being hyper aggressive on the second return, challenging that particular shot for Medvedev. Let's see what the average speed is. Yeah, I mean, Medvedev's average speed is 102 miles per hour, but I don't know if that sample is skewed by a couple of them that he doesn't hit as a kick serve, that he just kind of hits a first serve. That might skew the number, because when Medvedev hits a true kick serve, it's not the heaviest, and you also get the double faults when you put a lot of pressure on, which Alcaraz did on that second break point. The other thing that I noticed, and the last thing that I'll talk about, is Medvedev seemed to get countered a lot off of his attacking balls. I'm going to highlight 2 points here in this incredible 3-all service game. Incredible. Where Alcaraz broke at love. And he did something impressive in every single point. This is the first point of the game at 3-all here. Medvedev has Alcaraz in a defensive position here, full stretch backhand, and Alcaraz going to slice it. So Medvedev gets to step inside the court. He doesn't get to step inside the court. He has to step inside the court on this short slice, and the ball stays very, very low. Medvedev is going to hit a forehand inside into the open court. And right now, based on this screenshot, it looks like it could be a winner. But Alcaraz, he's a fast guy. He's a fast guy. He's going to get there. Medvedev does not come to net. Now, most players would come forward, make Alcaraz hit this as a passing shot. But Medvedev doesn't want to come to net. He doesn't like it up there. So he's going to stay back. Look at his positioning here. Because Alcaraz defended short in the court, and because Medvedev stepped into attack, he is no longer in any position to defend. He's in a terrible spot here. And Alcaraz is so strong on the run. So strong on the run. He hits this forehand about 90 miles per hour onto the sideline, and it's a winner. And Medvedev doesn't even come particularly close to covering it, because when Daniil is standing here, he is no longer somebody who covers the court at an elite level. Nobody is. When Medvedev is here, his court coverage is at the level of, I don't know, Nicolas Jarry. I didn't want to say John Isner. I wanted to go for someone less extreme. All right, here is Love 30 for Medvedev. And again, he's got a ball to attack. This is a +1 forehand for Medvedev. 2 feet inside the baseline. Down the line shot. And that's going to be your common thread with all of these counterattacks. It's going to be Medvedev is inside the court, and he's playing down the line or inside in, same thing. So here he goes, down the line. Bleeds too far to the middle. Doesn't really get Alcaraz stretched out quite enough. But Alcaraz is, again, strong on the run, on the open stance. Angle backhand cross court, good width. Medvedev now on the retreat, catches it late, doesn't quite get there, and he hits the net. If Medvedev was in good position, there's no way this backhand from Alcaraz, or I don't want to say good position and bad position. If he was in defensive position, there's no way that backhand from Alcaraz would have been good enough to win the point. But because Medvedev is stepping inside the court and attacking down the line, he's vulnerable on that counterattack cross court because of how strong Alcaraz is on the run. So that happens twice in that excellent 3-all game by Alcaraz. There's also a return deep middle that forces an error. There's also a second serve return backhand down the line winner to break at love. In the second set, in the break of serve, Alcaraz played really well on the first 2 points he won, but then Medvedev did kind of fall off with a swing volley, forehand drive volley that he missed, and a double fault to get broken. So yeah, that's all. Look, for Medvedev, it is a dead rubber. Does that somewhat taint this result? Does that somewhat take the importance out of it in terms of what we can take away from it? Yes, a little bit. At the same time, I can't ignore how well Alcaraz played here. I know exactly what I saw, which was a level that, again, was definitely one of, if not the best since Wimbledon from Carlitos. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.